with you, and once I start sharing, I won't be able to see you guys. So if you can't see something or can't hear something, you're gonna have to pop off and like just unmute yourself and let me know, all right? Thumbs up if we're good with that. Okay, so I will say too, I'm also kind of a fast talker. So if you need me to slow down or clarify anything, just let me know. Let me go ahead and share here. And okay, can you guys see our little PowerPoint here? Yes, thumbs up. Good. Okay, so welcome. I'm really excited that you guys are here. This is the second new coach call that I ran. You guys have seen me in the mentorship leading it with Meg and a couple of the other leaders on our team. And it's something that we're just really excited about because you guys you're coming in as new coaches, and we want to make this as simple for you as possible so that you can see success right away in your business. Okay, so we will dive in here. And one thing I want to say before we get started, you guys all know this, but you came into a fitness and health business, right? And in this business, your first job is to focus on you, which I think is pretty cool because no other job pays you to focus on yourself first. This is literally a business where you get to work on yourself, work on the physical and the mental and all of that kind of stuff as you're helping others. So really keep that in mind as you move forward. So some things to help you do that: get to know our products. Most of you guys I know are diving into a program, whether you've done one before or you're just starting one. You've probably gotten started with either Shakeology or the Performance Line. That's typically what our new coaches get started with, but get to know all of them. Look around the website. And as you start falling in love with those products, those are what you're going to be able to share with others, because it's just like us going to a movie, right? If we see a really good movie, we want to tell all of our friends about it. Or if you try a bomb mascara, you want to tell somebody about it. That's exactly how it is with Beachbody and how it is with our products and programs. We fall in love with them first, and then we help other people fall in love with them. So as we're going through our own journey and our own programs, you're going to be telling people about it. And once they get excited to join us, you're going to help them get the same results that you're getting. And when that happens, it just kind of creates this ripple effect that helps you see success in your business and helps you really like fulfill your job as a coach. So I always like to talk about the resources that you guys have available to you, because you might not know this. Obviously, you have our new coach mentorship that you're all in. That group is full of resources in the file section. You have me and a few other leaders in there guiding you. But the faster that you guys can get answers and start to become self-led coaches, the more success you're going to see. So this is your business. You get to do it how you want to do it. You get to run things the way you want to run things. That's the beauty of being a coach. You don't have us telling you exactly what to do every single day. We're not managers here. We're your mentors, and we're your coaches to help you see results. So check out our online office if you haven't done that yet. That's going to be like your hub, okay? So just start looking around in there. Some things are going to be really confusing to you because you're not going to understand the terms, but start peeking around because you'll get to learn the things. And as you move forward in your business, some of the things are going to make a lot more sense. But just look around so you kind of familiarize yourself with that. Also in the coach online office, you have additional training available to you. So Beachbody pretty much supports us in every single way possible. They give us so many resources. So don't be afraid to check back there if you have questions about anything. And that being said, you can also use Coach FAQ. If you have a question that maybe you need answered quickly or that you need quicker than we can get it to you, check out that FAQ. Has pretty much everything. You also have access to our team page. Most of us run smaller team pages, but you have access to the big team page. We're in there to support you guys. Okay, we're there to ask questions, and don't be afraid to ask questions because likely somebody else probably has the same question as you, and they'll be glad that you asked it. So they have to. So don't be afraid to look around those things. And the last thing, YouTube and Google, they can be your best friends. There's something about this network that we all love to share what's working. So you never have to be afraid that there's not going to be information, or you're never going to be afraid that you can't get your questions answered, because the answer is somewhere. Sometimes it just takes a little time to find it. So make those your best friends. Don't be afraid to use them. And then we do have 2 important calls that you guys should be aware of. The first one is our national wake-up call. That is corporate-wide. So Beachbody does that for us. They pick a coach that's doing really well in the business, and they interview them, and they share their best practices with us. So that's live in the Team Beachbody 411 page. You can always listen to it as a recording. You can listen to it on the podcast app. So many different ways to check it out. And then obviously our new coach mentorship call. We have on Tuesday nights. So this is the first one. And then we will have one next Tuesday at the same time. Okay, so the 4 vital behaviors. These are kind of what I like to call, like, think of your job description. So as you're focusing on yourself, these are the tasks that you want to make sure you're doing. It's kind of like walking into an office job. They hand you a list and say, here's what you need to do. These are the things that you guys need to do, and they're going to be the building blocks of your business. So don't be afraid of all those words because they're simple, okay? This business is very simple, and a lot of us tend to overcomplicate it. But if you always go back to these 4 vital behaviors, you're going to see success, you're going to see momentum, and you're going to feel really good about the work that you're doing with other people. So number 1, you obviously want to be sure that our products work. I'm not sure where you guys are coming in with your journey. I know I have a couple coaches on here that have done programs before, so maybe you guys have seen progress already. That's what we mean when we say be proof the products work. Like, truly commit to the fitness part and the nutrition part and the Shakeology or the performance part and get results, because that's what this is all about, is helping other people do the same. So we have to go first and show them it's possible. Second, we obviously want to be connecting with people, right? This is a relationship building business. We can't help people if we're not talking to people. So we want to be sharing our journey. We want to be starting conversations and making new friends. That's how all of us got into this, right? Most of us met on social media, or we met through some other platform, or reconnected on social media. That's what we mean when we say share and connect. Eventually, you're going to be inviting people to join you, just like we invited you guys. So I know sometimes that word carries a lot of fear. Don't be afraid of that, and just think about the way that your coach asked you. If it wasn't weird, good. I'm assuming it wasn't weird because you guys are all here. So just think of it like that. You're just asking somebody if you can help them. And you always want to be following up, because we're in the business where we don't just sell somebody something and walk away. Like, our work really starts when they commit. So we're always staying in touch with them. And even if they don't commit right away, we don't want to be that icky person that's like, okay, you're not interested, peace. That's not us, okay? None of us run our businesses like that. And we don't want you guys to do that either, because that's kind of what gives MLMs bad names. So stay in contact and continue to build that relationship. All right, number 3, personal development. I think most of you guys are familiar with this if you checked in with the new coach mentorship, but this is really like what exercise is for your body. Personal development is for your mind, okay? We talk to a lot of people. There's a lot of negative connotations around MLMs, but this personal development, it's kind of like your secret weapon to building yourself up to not let that crap influence you, okay? There's not really any other way to say it, but that's how I like to think of it. That's what's really going to be like the internal work and help you really just become the best version of yourself, because it's not all physical, it's mental too. And then the last vital behavior, we kind of talked on this briefly, but you want to help people get results. That's where the work starts. So you don't just sign someone up, leave them hanging. You want to be involved with them. You want to make sure they are like following their program. And sometimes it's not the right time. They might fall off, but you're there as their support system, as their cheerleader, as their guide. And it's your job to make sure they are reaching the goals they told you they wanted to reach. Okay, I gotta find my mouse here. All right, so like I said, this is your business. You can run it however you want to, but we like to lay out some real basic goals to help you see success right away, because it's no fun coming into a business where you're struggling right away, right? So let's talk about some goals and let's set those. So what we always recommend is helping 3 people get started the same way you got started, because most of you got started with the challenge pack. It's pretty easy to go help 3 people do the same thing, right? It sets them up with an entire year of Beachbody on demand, so they get the fitness part of it, they get the nutrition part of it in either Shakeology or the performance line, and then they get you as the coach, and they get our online community to help them get results. So that's how you you hit Success Club, basically. That's what it's called. I should have said that first. But your first goal as a new coach is to hit Success Club. And by helping 3 people, you will do that. So Success Club is really just a measure of recognition that Beachbody gives us. They like to recognize us basically for everything that we do. And I don't even know of any other company that does that, but they're always spoiling us, always rewarding us for our hard work. And that's just the metric that they use. So we always recommend starting with your friends and family because, like I said before, when you go see a movie and you really like it, you want other people to see that movie too because you really liked it and you know they really like it. It's the same with this. So think of people that might also really love or can really benefit from what you're doing, and that's who we're going to start with. On that topic of Success Club, when you achieve Success Club in your first 3 months as a coach, you actually earn a free ticket to our annual event that has literally so many coaches. I don't even know the count that it's up to, but it's our biggest, most exciting, most fun event where you get to work out with the super trainers. You get to learn from top coaches in the network. They always bring in keynote speakers. This year it was Rachel Hollis. So you get a free ticket to that event when you start helping people right away. Okay, so let's talk about boot camps. There's other words for these. You might have heard them called challenge groups or accountability groups, boot camps, fit clubs. They're all the same thing. So when you hear us talk about that, just remember that those words are interchangeable. So the first step in being able to help those people is having something to plug them into. So you can either host your own group if that's something that you want. You can team up with another coach to run one, or you can pour them into our challenge group that we already have or that your upline coach already has. So you can see that there's just a couple examples. These are Abby and Brittany. They're sharing a story in these posts, and that's how they're inviting to it. It's not weird because they're not saying, hey, join this with this product and X, Y, and Z. They're sharing what helped them get results and how their lives changed from it. So you'll learn how to do that, and we have some examples for you too, but that's kind of, I want you guys to kind of just start thinking about that and put that in the back of your mind. Start thinking about your journey and who you can invite to join you. So our goal with this mentorship and this new coach kickoff call is to help you send those first couple invites and not be afraid of them, okay? I don't want you guys to be afraid because yes, it might be uncomfortable, but it's simple. All you're doing is asking somebody if you can help them, and that's not a big deal. It's just like walking into a store. You guys probably all bend a buckle. They come and ask you right away, can I help you? It's their job to find out if they can help us, just like it's our job to find out if we can help other people. So I want you guys to become a conversation expert, all right? You're gonna start talking to people, and we want you to connect with 3 new people a day. It's not that much. You probably talk to 3 people a day just in daily life, right? If you work in customer service or outside of the home, like you come in contact with 3 people a day. So we want to start thinking about starting those conversations. So I also want you guys to keep in mind when you're reaching out to somebody new, you're not reaching out to close them. The goal is not to sell them on something or get them to purchase something. Like you're reaching out to open the door for future conversations about something. Just be very brief. Be excited and always end like with a question or a CTA, call to action. We like to use that abbreviation a lot, but make sure your message to them omits a response. So you don't want to just be like, hey, I saw you were outside with your daughter. That looks so fun. They'd be like, yeah, cool. There's nothing for them to respond to. So another example would be like, hey, I saw you were outside with your daughter. How old is she? I have a daughter the same age. I don't know why I'm talking in mom speak, probably because I see Meg. I'm not a mom. So I ask people a lot of questions about dogs. So think of something that you actually get excited about and connect with them on that. So you're also going to be looking for needs that they have or problems that they have, problems that we can fix, right? So as you start having conversations with people, they're going to be cues and clues that kind of show you they need our help. So you're not always looking for them, but be on the lookout for them, if that makes sense. So just ask a lot of questions and take your time with them. You don't have to rush any kind of conversation. We don't want that because that can get icky. So just really get to know them and don't be afraid if they have an objection or if they have a lot of questions, because that's just part of the process, all right? Like, that is normal. We get questions and objections all the time because it's just part of this business. That's why we use a lot of personal development to keep our mindset in the right place. So we put some files it's in the file section of our new coach mentorship. You can check that out, but they are super, super simple and they're geared for new coaches. So we've already thought of this for you. You can tweak it to make it sound like you, but don't be afraid to use those. You don't have to go recreate the wheel. You have us to do that for you. And when we say follow up for forever, like I said before, stay in contact with them. Don't just ditch out when they say no or if it's not the right time, because you're building a relationship. You're not just reaching out to them to sell something. So we always want to be building those relationships, and sometimes it's just not the right time, and that's nothing against you. It's just not the right time. But when you continue to keep that conversation going, the door's always open. So we'll be sharing some different examples at the end. And like I said, there are some in our file section that you can check out. But one last thing before we move off of this slide, I don't want you guys to be afraid of the cost, because it is an incredible value, okay? So we're not going to be those people that send them a link right away, because that's not how we run our business. That's not how we like to teach our downlines to run the business. We're the people that take time and really like find out what they need. So when you know what they need, you know that we can offer that help. So if cost is something that you maybe had an objection about, or that you are kind of afraid of, I want you guys to think about it from a bigger perspective. Think of every single thing that we get in a challenge pack for $160. You get an entire year of workouts, which I guarantee you it would probably cost thousands of dollars to work with an actual personal trainer for a year. You get nutrition experts at your fingertips with personalized meal plans. That would cost hundreds or thousands of dollars. And you get an amazing community and support group. Like, that is invaluable, right? There's no value on that. And they get you. You are a gift to them. They get you. So think of all that value when you think of the cost, and be like, okay, I have a lot of value to offer. Not that bad. Okay, so wrapping up here, I want to talk about coach karma. I think this is so important because some coaches are already the go-to person before they become a coach, whether they were into fitness or into nutrition, or they were just already sharing their journey on social media. That gives them a little bit of coach karma because they're already that go-to person. What we don't want you to do is compare yourself to somebody like that, because not everyone comes in with that, and that's okay. Every single person on this team is at a different point in their journey, even if they signed up on the same exact date, because we all move at different paces. So some of you will come in really fast and take off because you have good karma, and some of you, it might take a little bit longer, but that's all right, because that's totally normal too. So just don't get discouraged, because your chapter 1, you can't compare that to somebody's the middle of the book, right? Like, it's not the same. So try not to get caught in that comparison trap, because it is deadly, okay? It's deadly. We've lost a lot of coaches to that, because it's hard not to, because you see all these coaches and you obviously were attracted to this lifestyle for a certain reason, but really just think of your journey and just keep plugging along. And if you have to, just put those blinders up, okay? We have always said it is okay to unfollow someone that you feel like you're comparing yourself to. So do not be afraid to do that, even if it's another coach on this team. I've done that. Meg has done that. We've all done it, because we can all get sucked into that trap. So whatever you need to do to avoid it, do that. Okay, so let's talk goals a little bit more. Okay, so your second goal as a coach is to achieve active emerald. So emerald is you plus 2. That means you have 2 friends or 2 family members, or even 2 people that you've met networking that can benefit from this business opportunity, or people that are just really supportive of you. So I don't want you guys to overthink this, because we'll be talking about it a little bit more next week, but this is really where things get exciting, because you get to expand to a different level, and you get to kind of like I said, I don't want to dive too much into it, but you get to take your business from a commission-based business to a commission and passive income-based business, if that makes sense. So you go from earning money one way to earning money 2 ways, and you go to building a team, which is what this is all about. Even if you're just helping people on their journeys, it is still way more fun to do it alongside of everyone else. So start thinking about that, have that in the back of your head, and our call next week will go into a little more detail on that. Okay, so let's talk about sharing your journey on social media. Like I said, some of you may have already been doing this, but I want to touch on it real quick because you might not have, and that's okay too. So when you think about sharing your journey, yes, you're a coach. Yes, you're going to be doing fitness. You're going to be doing Shakeology. That's not all you are. Okay, you are a person and you have hobbies and interests and families and a life outside of coaching. So we want you to share all of that, okay? It's not just about fitness and nutrition. It's about your life, because that's what helps people connect to us and relate to us. And that's what connects us and really helps us relate to other people, right? Can't tell you guys how many people I talk to about dogs on a daily basis, because I'm a dog mom. That's what people connect to me about, or other parts of my journey. So start thinking about those different aspects of your life. And when you go to post something, kind of ask yourself what you would want someone else to benefit from them, or what you would want them to benefit from reading it. Is it going to be educational for them? Is it going to inspire them? Maybe make them laugh? Is it just going to bring a smile to their face? Is it going to be something that makes them stop their scroll? So just kind of something to have in the back of your mind as you start posting on social media and sharing that part of your journey. Okay, so on that note, let's talk about consistency and patience, because I see this a lot as in the business and with new coaches. They think that you can post for 5 days and then disappear. Okay, that is not okay, because when you don't show up, that's gonna break that trust. Okay, so we really want to kind of get you guys in the habit of sharing daily, even if it's just one time a day, because that's what builds that trust. When people see you show up every day, they see themselves in you and they can be like, well, if she did it, then I can do that. So start thinking about consistency and be patient with social media. Things are always changing. There are always things to learn. The algorithms change all the time. Yes, it can be frustrating, but as long as you're showing up daily and continuing to do the best that you can, you will start finding people like you and you will start attracting people like you. So just as an example, you can see Meg has 2 different posts here. One is from January 2014, where she used the very, very generic picture of 21 Day Fix, and that's all she talked about. Not that many people were interested in it. It wasn't super personalized or scroll stopping, and it's kind of salesy, right? I'm sure we've all had posts like that. I have had posts like that too before I learned better. Look at her one from this year. That tells a story. That's her pregnancy journey. It's very personalized. People can relate to her on that. The picture is really bright and eye-catching. It makes people want to stop. So she's talking about a journey from her miscarriage journey to raising or being pregnant with their rainbow baby. Like, that is what people relate to, and it did a lot better. So think about that going forward. It takes time to learn this stuff, so don't get frustrated, and it also takes time to grow your following and connect with new people. Okay, so I should probably insert the income disclaimer from Beachbody here. Obviously, you're not going to make money unless you work, but we like to put this in here because this relates back to the first goal that we told you about in helping 3 people. So if you help 3 people for the next 3 months, you'll be earning about $800 a month. And I can share this math with you in the team page. I'm sure you guys don't want me to actually sit there and like read through it, but basically, when you help someone get started with a challenge pack, that's about $50 commission. You do it 3 times, that's $150. So that adds up over the months, but then you also have those same customers from month 1 on their Shakeology or on their performance line, and you're getting that residual income from their continuity order. That's what adds up. So think about what that could actually do for your family. Could it help you pay a mortgage? Could it help you pay grocery bills? Would it help you lower student debt or personal debt? What could that do? Is it going to allow you to take a family vacation or allow you to do something fun with your kids? Start thinking about that and really like tie that to your goal. Because I think sometimes when it's just the number, you can be like, okay, yeah, that'd be cool, but tie it to something that evokes emotion in you, okay? Like something that is kind of a pain point for you right now, whether you're struggling with debt or bills or groceries or kids or whatever. That is that emotion. Connect it to that and really think about that as you go forward and hustle towards that first goal. Okay, so let's talk about what's next. Obviously, you're going to continue going through our new coach mentorship. We're only on day 2. So you have this week and next week, and just stay plugged in. Meg and I recently revamped it to make it as simple as possible for you guys with very short action steps that you can take every day. So I would say maybe 15 to 30 minutes a day, probably not even 30, but make sure you're checking in and plugged into that group because that's where you're learning. That's where you're launching your business. Also, commit to your program, commit to drinking your Shakeology or your performance line, commit to personal development. So if you haven't chosen a book, choose a book. An awesome one to start with is The Compound Effect, and I know that we put some more recommendations in the file section, so you can check out that list if you haven't gotten one yet. Start sharing your journey if you haven't yet. Start talking to people or start thinking about people that you know could use this or that you know might love this too. And don't wait till you guys are ready because this is a learn as you grow business. You don't have to know everything. I don't know everything. Meg doesn't know everything. We're constantly learning, and that's the beauty of it. You don't have to know everything, and you don't have to be the expert because the experts already laid everything out for us, right? Like, you don't have to be a trainer because we already have programs by world-class trainers. You don't have to be a nutritionist because those nutritionists and registered dietitians already developed those plans for us. So you don't have to know everything because answers are really easy to find, and you have this amazing support system to help you as you go. And let's talk about overwhelm real quick. Try not to get overwhelmed. I know it's easy, but if you just take it one step at a time and one conversation at a time and one goal at a time, that will decrease the overwhelm and really just hone in on that personal development because that's going to help you feeling good as you're making this shift into a business owner and sharing your journey. Okay, so I am going to give you guys a little assignment to complete by tomorrow. Don't worry about copying down these invites. Those are in the team page. I'll post them again when I share the recording. But I want you guys to create a list. So think of 15 people, friends, family members, coworkers, people you know, people that already know you, love you, trust you. Think about people like that. Meg likes to call it a dirt list. She says it's basically people that would eat dirt for you because they love you so much. Think of those people because we all have some of those people in our lives, right? I want you guys to make that list and start inviting them to join you and use one of the new coach invites. It's already done. Just make it sound like you, and that will get the ball rolling for you. So again, just to reiterate, your first goal is to achieve Success Club by helping 3 people. Not only will that help you get the ball rolling of helping people and actually doing your job as a coach, it will also get you earning income right away to help you cover the expense of your Shakeology or performance line or anything else that you might have. And then number 2, start thinking about emeralds. We're going to be talking about that next week, but that's your next goal. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing quick. And any questions? No? Okay, if you have questions, you can type them into the chat bar. I know I went kind of fast, but I think we got it all.